be sharing with you guys tips for having a C-section delivery. Now, if you guys haven't watched my birth vlog, I will link it down below in the description box, but I went in thinking that I was going to have a natural birth because I was getting induced, to having an emergency C-section. So because of that, there are different things that come about that you have to heal different from a vaginal birth to a C-section birth. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the tips and just good things to kind of remember and try out for when you have a C-section birth. If you're watching this and you haven't had your baby yet, it is such a good thing to kind of prepare yourself, because I did not watch anything with cesareans because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have a cesarean. There's actually quite a few of my friends that have ended up in emergency cesareans, so it's kind of good to know everything that's going to happen or that can happen. If you're one of the people that like to know that information like I am, I wish I would have looked this stuff up so I kind of would have been prepared. Anyways, I'm going to give you guys my tips and just kind of skim over them. If you guys have any other questions, you can always ask me in the description box below and I will get back to you. Alright, so let's start. The first tip is to stay calm. Now, like I said, I had an emergency C-section because my pelvic bone was too narrow, so they couldn't get Willow out of me with the vaginal birth. So I went into emergency C-section, and I remember, out of what I can remember, just sitting there and crying during the whole, basically from the time that I was told that I had to get an emergency C-section through the entire process. It was very hard for me to accept that I couldn't have a natural birth. My advice to people that have to go through that or have had a cesarean and are doing another one is to just stay calm, because there's a reason why the doctors are going in and saying and suggesting for you to do this. So you just need to trust what is going on, stay calm through the whole experience so that you can better enjoy it. That's definitely the number one thing that I wish that I would have done different. It's just to kind of sit there and tell myself, it's okay, this is how it's going to happen. You just have to kind of deal with it right then and there. And I have a beautiful, healthy, very, very healthy baby, and just because I couldn't have my baby vaginally doesn't mean that I didn't birth my child. Like, I still had a child. So don't be hard on yourself with that, and just kind of accept when it happens. Say, okay, I can do this. It's different than what I wanted if it's not a planned C-section, and just accept and kind of enjoy the experience, because you will not get it back. Number 2 is to pick your partner. Now, when you go in for a cesarean, you're only allowed to have one person. At least at my hospital, you're only allowed to have one person in the OR with you. So I had my husband go in with me. I wish my mom could have been there, but it was really important to have my husband there because it is his baby. So make sure that you kind of have an idea, if you do have to go in for a cesarean, that you have your one person picked out. Number 3 is ask to see the baby come out. I was actually asked because I was so out of it and just so upset, but I was actually asked if I wanted to see my baby come out, and I was very thankful that I did get to see that. So they held a mirror up, because you have that big kind of sheet that goes in front of you, so you can't see the actual procedure happening. But my OBGYN actually had the anesthesiologist hold up a mirror so that I could see her actually come out of my tummy. So that was pretty amazing. It's kind of foggy because you're on quite a bit of pain medicine, but I still get to remember that, and I still got to be able to experience her coming out, so that's pretty special. Number 4, now if you are having this cesarean happen, I hope that you have your camera with you or your phone or something to where someone can take a picture. Ask the nurses to take a picture, because you're not allowed to record in the OR. At least most hospitals, you're not allowed to record while you're in the operating room for legal purposes. So you can bring in your camera or your phone and you can take pictures. So ask one of the nurses to take a picture of either the baby coming out, the baby getting weighed, measurements, daddy holding the baby for the first time, or whoever is going to be in the OR with you, as well as you being able to hold your baby for the first time. I have those pictures. I'll throw my favorite one up. It is so precious to me, and I'm so thankful that I got it. And have your husband or whoever is going to be in there with you, your partner, check and make sure the pictures are not blurry, because you would hate for that to happen. Okay, so once you come out of your cesarean, there's a lot of stuff that they do to you. They take tape off of you, they check your IV, they kind of get you all cleaned up. after getting sewn up and everything. So there's a lot of stuff that happens. So when you get into your room, the number one thing that you need to do is take your painkillers. Now, I'm not a painkiller person, but you know what? You just had major surgery on your stomach, so you need to be sure to be taking your painkillers. Ask your nurse to keep up with the times of your painkillers, not just when you ask for it, because it's really important, because your stomach is going to hurt very badly. It's going to be very sore. You're going to move around like a sloth, so you want to be taking painkillers. Number 7 is you want to take a stool softener. Now, if you are on like Percocet or any other pain medicines that can make you kind of get stopped up, you want to be making sure to take a stool softener. Most people that have a cesarean, you're going to be stopped up for anywhere from 3 to 6 days. So I didn't go number 2 until day 5. It wasn't a painful experience or anything weird. It was totally normal. But I didn't go number 2 for 5 days. So I'm very thankful that I took those stool softeners. My nurses were on top of it, and I'm so glad, because it was not an awful constipated experience. Another big tip is to ask to do skin to skin ASAP as soon as you are able to kind of recognize what is going on, whether it is down on the table when you're getting cleaned up or when you are actually going moving upstairs. Ask to put the baby on your chest as soon as possible and keep them there for a long time. Now, you do get that for a second when you actually deliver your baby, but it's really important to get that skin to skin and to try to nurse or breastfeed as soon as possible so that you start building that bond and connection from the very beginning. The next tip is to let everyone do everything for you. Now, you're probably going to be in the hospital for about 4 days. Ask for help. Ask the nurses for help. Ask your family for help. Ask your significant other for help. There's not going to be a lot that you're going to be able to do. I actually wasn't able to change her diapers or get her out of the little bassinet for quite a few days when I was in the hospital. I think maybe the last day I was able to really kind of get up and feel secure holding her and doing things like that. So ask for help. Next tip, drink lots and lots of water. Remember how I was telling you that you're going to be a little stopped up? You want to drink a lot of water because there was a lot of stuff going through your body. There's a lot of drugs and all that type of stuff. So you need to start flushing your system out, and water is going to be key. They're probably going to tell you need to drink a lot of water, but just as a tip, maybe bring in a water bottle like I did so that you can drink out of that. You're not allowed to drink out of a straw, but take a nice water bottle so you can drink a lot of water. When the nurses come in, they're going to be helping you with breastfeeding. My nurse was a champ with this. Even though I have complications with breastfeeding, she helped me so much to initially get started. They also have lactation consultants at hospitals, so be sure to take advantage of that while you're there. You want to get up and walk as soon as you can. Ask the nurse if you start feeling okay to kind of sit on the side of your bed. Do that for the first time, and then a little bit later ask if you can actually stand and then potentially walk. You're going to have a lot of gas in your stomach because the surgery, when you get sewn up, there's a lot of air still in your tummy. I was very, very, very bloated. I had a lot of gas. My tummy was actually hard. So getting around and walking helped to kind of move that gas out. And yes, you're going to be farting probably quite a bit. You know what? After all the other stuff that you just went through having a baby, it totally doesn't matter. For me, I don't really care. But you want to get up and walk because that is going to help with that, and it's also going to help you recover even faster. This is one of the biggest ones. Don't stress yourself with visitors. Now, originally I was going to allow people to come to the hospital to visit me, but after having a C-section, I decided that I only wanted my very, very close friends and family, which honestly was like my family and then 2 of my friends. I just had a lot going on. It's a lot physically, emotionally, mentally. You just have a lot going on. So if you don't feel comfortable, don't feel like you have to have those people come and visit you in the hospital. It is your time to heal. You're going through a lot of stuff. You have a new baby, you are going through recovering from a surgery, so don't feel bad if people have to wait a few more days, because after all, you waited like how many months? 9 months to have this baby, so they can wait a few more days to be able to come see you when you feel better. Okay, so when you were actually home from the hospital, there's a few things you also should know. Number 1 is get high-waisted panties. Now, you might only wear these for a week to 2 weeks. I went to Target and just bought some very cheap, like the pack of 6 underwear, and I got the very high-waisted. They came all the way up to my belly button. The reason is you're going to have an incision in your bikini line, and anything that is going to rub that or press against that is very uncomfortable. So you need to have underwear that are going to sit high above that. I just went and got some cheapies. You're you're going to want to get 2 or 3 sizes larger than what you normally are, because you are going to have a lot of swelling, things like that. So just to be safe, get a few sizes bigger to make sure that it's not going to be compressing on your stomach, because it can be very uncomfortable. Okay, always infinity pads are the best things ever. The kind that are like the poured foam or whatever it is are the most amazing pads ever. You're gonna want this when you come home from the hospital to just kind of make sure that all of the blood and all the other bodily fluids that are kind of draining out of your uterus are going to be taken care of. And these are so comfortable. They don't make you feel like you're wearing a diaper. Now, you're a new mommy to either your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth, 10th child, but you are not a superhero. Yes, I mean, we pretty much are superheroes, but we don't have those powers. You're going to be very exhausted. So don't be afraid to ask your partner or whoever is helping you to help actually quite a lot. If you want help just changing diapers or get water or put the blanket over my feet, ask for help. You are definitely going to need it. I took advantage, not taken advantage, but I definitely took advantage of having my family with me and just asking them for help, and they were so great with that. My husband was absolutely phenomenal. He still is. He still wakes up in the middle of the night to help me. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Again, you are going to need so much help, and that's what friends and family are for. And last but not least, enjoy your baby. There's going to be a lot of challenges ahead, from just having a C-section to becoming a parent, or maybe it's you've already had a baby and now you have another one, you're having to deal with juggling. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play, and being a parent can be very challenging. So any second that you get to just enjoy the moment of looking at your baby's face, looking at the little feet, cooing and just awing over them, enjoy the moment, because there's a lot of stress that comes with having children. And speaking from someone who is a very positive person, there's a lot of tears that can happen. So don't be afraid if the first week you are just crying over certain things. It happens to the best of us. So just stay positive and know that there are a lot of other mommies out there that are going through the same thing. And another tip, actually, go onto Facebook and find a local mommy group in your area. So like, I live in Orange County, so I looked up Orange County Mommies, and there is a Facebook group with a whole bunch of members, and it's great because you can go on there, ask questions, read all the other mommies. I love it because in the middle of the night when I'm nursing, feeding her, changing her diaper, I can go on there and just kind of scroll through to kill time. And it's great to learn a lot of advice if you need help with something, if you just need to get lifted up. It's a great resource to go on there and even potentially meet other mommies in the area. Alright guys, so that is all of my tips for C-section birth. Whether it is not planned or planned, there's quite a bit of stuff that goes on. So these are just my main tips that I wanted to share with you guys to kind of help you out through your C-section. I hope that you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, again, any more questions, leave it down in the comments below and I will reply as soon as I can. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!